Today I'm going to teach you how you can create insane floating 3D objects to your videos completely for free with no plugins at all inside of After Effects for your music videos, sports recaps, event recaps, whatever you're editing. Let's go. So before we actually get into anything After Effects related, we actually have to get our 3D object file first, and we're going to be using a GLB file or GLTF file, I think it is, and they're completely compatible with After Effects. You just drag it and drop it inside of the project file. So it's really easy. You can just go to Google and you can search for 3D GLB, and then you can basically search on marketplaces. I like to use Sketchfab because it's made by like creators, and then you can find there's like a bunch of 3D GLB files. So whatever you want to add, they're all textured and they already have, some of them actually already have animation inside of them. But the one we're going to be using today is this Ferrari model. I'll link to it down below, but I got it completely for free. Shout out to Outpiston for making this. This is like a W file, honestly. We're going to go back to After Effects, and you can see once you download the file, it's going to look like this. Nothing much to see in the Finder, but if we drag and drop this GLB to our project, you're going to see it gives us some options right here to adjust sizing, whatnot. And I'm just going to increase the scale just a bit so we can see it. And as you can see, it's starting to slowly come into view. Then I'm just going to hit OK. And then the next thing I'm going to do real quick before I actually do anything effect related is I am going to adjust the anchor point. So the anchor point is basically the center or where the control is going to be for the objects. I just want to make sure it's in the center of the car, not like the bottom or the wheel or the corner, because then it's just going to make it a lot easier for animating. We have our project file. We have our 3D object inside of After Effects. As you can see, that's super cool. The fact that this is completely native, and so it would have taken forever to do inside of Blender or even Element 3D to texture everything. So what we're going to do next is we're going to animate it. So actually really quickly before we go into that next part, for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Devin Huynh. I've been a video editor for about 7+ years. I've shot and edited countless videos for artists like Lil Baby and clients like Coachella and Mercedes, but I was just like you when I started off. I was in high school, had no clients, didn't know how to get into this industry. That's why now I give away everything I learned here on this channel completely for free. And for those of you who want to edit even faster, we actually give away the exact presets that I use to edit way faster and make my edits look insane. I'll link below in the description. So if you want to check those out, we have transition packs, camera shakes, overlays, and we actually have a bunch of pre-animated floating 3D object overlays, just like the one in this video, but like 50 of them, and they're all transparent, so you can just drag and drop them onto your video. And we also just released a brand new AI plugin for Premiere Pro that will automatically edit your music videos with visual effects. So if you also want to check that out, it's all linked below in the description. Anyways, let's get back to the tutorial. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scale this up a little bit so you can see it more. I'm going to go maybe a couple frames in, maybe a second in, where I want the effect to actually like pop into place. And I'm going to make sure that I hit a keyframe at the scale and the X, Y, and Z rotation. Very, very, very important. Then we're gonna go to the very beginning, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and angle it down and make sure you're using the X rotation, not the orientation over here, because the orientation right here will do the same thing, but it's completely different value. So don't actually use these controls right here. Don't use that, make sure, very important note. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and use this Z rotation and like spin it around a couple of times, maybe like 3 to 4 rotations, just like that. And now you can see if we play it out, we have this weird spinning animation. So it's very static, very cheesy. What are we doing next? I'm going to go ahead and hit this graph editor icon, and then I'm going to hit a keyframe right here at the easy ease of both of my keyframes, just like this. And that way we have these anchor points. Now what I'm going to do, watch very closely. I'm holding shift to make sure the anchor point stays exactly in the same location. And I'm just going to drag in, and I'm going to drag all the way down with this first anchor point. So then that way it spins really fast and then it slows down, just as something an object would in real life. Like there's velocity, things start slow, they move fast, and then they slow down and then they stop. So that's essentially how we want to make our movement look inside of After Effects. I'm going to do the exact same thing with this other value, this X rotation value that we did over here. So selecting both of these keyframes and then making sure I easy ease them, and voila, there we go. Now we have this crazy spinning animation. Lastly, what I'm going to do for this intro is I'm going to hit a keyframe at the scale position, which it looks like I already did. So make sure it's scale at 100 or whatever the value is. And then I'm going to go to the very beginning and change it to 0. You guessed it. Go back to this graph editor, and we're going to do the same thing with these keyframes. Easy ease. and I'm just going to adjust these so that it's nice and smooth. I know if you have this flow editor, you can of course use that. So anyways, I'm just kind of messing around with these keyframes. The key is making the key to the keyframes. The key is making sure that we have a ease out. So you can see this curve right here. We want it to come as flat as the line as possible before it comes to a complete stop. So if I zoom in, you can see it really starts to get flat like that, and then it stops and slows down and stays stationary. That's really the trick to everything. Make sure you just mess around with it, have fun. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and add maybe another keyframe later down the line on that exact same Z rotation as well. I want it to continue spinning, but just this time a little bit slower. I might do the same thing with this X rotation as well. So now if we play it out, it spins in, stops, and then slows down. But we want it to be very continuous and like seamless. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these keyframes once again, hit the graph editor, and we're just going to make sure that they feel very seamless. So I'm going to start with this Z rotation one right here. And this time I'm actually just going to bring up this anchor point a little bit without holding shift. So that way the flow keeps moving the entire time. So we wanted to make it seem like there's no stopping throughout the entire time. So it spins in and then continuously keeps spinning slowly just like that. And then we have that cool animation. And eventually at the end, to ease it out, I'm going to create another animation and just like spin it even faster. So it's just going to continuously spin like that. And then I'm just going to ease that out. Yeah, essentially that's how I'm making these effects really easy to do so. It just takes some time and messing around with the keyframes and having that dedication, commitment. But if you stick through it and lock in, I'm pretty sure you can have some cool effects at the end of the day. So I'm going to make sure I go to that end keyframe and make sure the X one is also aligned. I'm just going to go ahead and speed this part up. I'm really just adjusting keyframes, and boom, there we go. Now we have a nice spin in animation and a spin out. Lastly, of course, I'm just going to go ahead and create a keyframe at that scale, go to the end of it, and then turn that scale all the way down to 0. And then I'm gonna hit the graph editor once again for the last time, and we have this nice ease out animation. And yeah, there you pretty much have it. Okay, cool. Now we have this cool popping in animation of our car, but how do we actually apply this to a music video and make it look cool? So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a music video clip and just paste this in right here. This little tech of video, man. I feel so cliche. I feel like every editor uses it. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and have this Ferrari pop in, but what we're gonna do to make it feel a little bit more realistic is we're going to add a camera lens blur. So this is pretty much what makes the effect look realistic if you're using it for video projects or whatever you're editing. I'm going to apply that camera lens blur. Let's actually turn off the visibility. So we'll set the blur to maybe 30. Let's do 30 for now. And then I'm going to come over here where it's still very small, and we're going to change it. So you can see when the car comes into view, pretty much everything else goes out of focus. And then that's how we have that cool looking like floating 3D object effect. And then when it leaves, then everything should come back into focus. Let's just go ahead and set those keyframes like that. I'm gonna hit the U key to see all of our keyframes right here. Then I'm gonna hit a keyframe on the blur radius, and then when it goes out, we're gonna change the blur radius back down to 0. Yeah, there we go. Now we have a cool looking camera blur. Now let's make it look even cooler. So unfortunately, I'm gonna be using some third-party plugins for just the effects, not the actual 3D. All the 3D you can do inside of After Effects, but we are gonna be using some Red Giant flares, which are personally my favorite, and they make everything just look absolutely insane and cinematic. So I'm gonna go to my effects and presets and search for flare, and then I'm gonna apply this RG real lens flare right here to our... Okay, so now how do we make this actually look a lot more realistic and cooler and stylistic? So unfortunately, I'm going to be using some third-party plugins just to spice this part up. The actual 3D object, of course, as you saw, was completely native. We didn't need any Element 3D, no Blender, no Cinema 4D. But if you want to spice this up, make it look even cooler, I recommend using some. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Layer. We're going to create a new adjustment layer. First thing we're going to use is Red Giant Real Lens Flare. So I search Flare right here in my presets, apply that lens flare to our adjustment layer, and you can see we got this crazy looking flare right here, really bright. I'm going to turn it down to about maybe 30%. Ooh, 30 is still really bright as well. And we also just might decrease the temperature so that it's like on theme. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to hit a keyframe at this 2D position, and unfortunately for this part you have to track the motion on that light. So wherever the light is that you're trying to track, you have to make sure that it is there the entire clip. So just adjusting it over here to the beginning, in the middle, hit the U key to see all those keyframes, and then once it's done, we're just basically going to hit a keyframe at the brightness, and we're going to go move that a couple frames before and change that brightness back down to 0. I'm going to do that for the beginning right here. Hit a keyframe at the brightness, move that a couple frames forward, and change the brightness down to 0. And now if we play it out, we have this cool looking lens flare. And yeah, that's looking pretty sick. So just obviously repeat this for the other headlight. I'm not going to do that right now because it's pretty redundant. Lastly, we're just going to go ahead and add some glow to this to make it just feel a lot more vibrant. But before we do that, we actually have to take this GLB file. We have to right click it. We have to pre-comp it, and you can name it whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to now go to my effects and presets, and I'm going to search for the glow. And let's apply this just standard After Effects glow. If you have optical or sapphire, by all means go for it. But if not, you can use After Effects glow and it gets the job done. I don't know, some people are just really anti sapphire glow. But as you can see, it's kind of a little bit trash at first. So it's a really easy fix though. You just kind of mess around with the threshold until you're liking. I'm going to increase it just a little bit, and then of course increase the glow radius. And I'm also going to bring down the intensity down just a bit. One of the last things I'm going to do is I'm going to search for some sapphire motion blur, or you can use After Effects CC motion, doesn't really matter, but I'm going to apply this motion blur right here to that pre-comp at the very beginning. I'm going to set that from Z distance to 0.8 like that, and then I'm going to go to the very beginning of the clip where it finally like eases in to the zoom. I'm going to go ahead and hit keyframe on that from Z distance and from rotate as well. Now I'm going to go to the almost beginning of the clip start. You can see when the car is like really small right there, and we're just going to go ahead and set that from Z distance to 1, and then I'm going to set the rotation just a little bit so it kind of rotates a little bit. And then that way, once we play it out, you see we have this crazy motion blur with the glow and everything. It just looks super cinematic. I actually might even drag this blur before the glow, so that way it's just it's easier to render. Yeah, that's looking pretty crazy if you ask me. Anyways, I hope you guys found something useful from this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please be sure to leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you want to learn how you can add insane camera shakes like this to your music videos, then I recommend checking out this video linked right here.